Good morning. Welcome to the World News, bringing you to the eyes on the news. Today, we have a special guest, Saba Razavi, an environmental scientist from Seneca College who gonna explain the mysterious existence of El Nino. She will be providing us a brief description on how El Nino occurs and the natural disaster that it provokes. Welcome, Saba, to our show. How are you doing today?
I'm good. How are you?
Good, thanks for asking.
Thank you for inviting me to your show.
I heard about a lot of your research, and for sure our audience are really curious about what's going on in El Nino. So our audience, they are sending us in the Twitter a lot of questions, so you should take a breath, eh? So we have a first questions. What is El Nino and how is it caused?
Well, El Nino is a climate cycle in the Pacific Ocean with a global impact on weather patterns. And this cycle begins when the warm water is in the western tropical Pacific Ocean and it shifts eastward along the equator toward the coast of South America. Normally, this water pools near Indonesia and the Philippines. During El Nino, the Pacific's warmest surface waters sit offshore of the northwest and South America. These currents cause weather changes all around the world.
That's really interesting about El Nino. So our next questions, Muhammad Ali from Saudi Arabia asking, what damages can El Nino cause?
Well, El Nino causes a lot of damages like fire, floods, tornadoes, and droughts all at once.
So we have a question from Sarah. She's from Colombia. So she asked, what years were the worst El Nino occurred?
The latest that really strong El Nino that occurred was between 2014 and 2016. Then after that, there was one earlier than that, which was recorded in 1982 to 1983, and before that was 1997 to 1998. But the most one that caused a drought in South Asia was in 1997, and in South America and the United States. But they experienced the most flooding, and these countries in the area of Malaysia had massive forest fires, and majority of the land was destroyed. And it caused about 2,100 people that had died during that time because of the El Nino.
So here is a really important question from Jillian. She's from China. She's asking, what's the next El Nino coming?
Well, as scary as it may sound, this super force is a real and could strike at any time. So no one knows when this El Nino can occur. But it's a big force when it does occur. And this El Nino has an ability to change the weather patterns and all over the world, and it changes the temperature and the rainfalls. Also, it can kill the power and also injure thousands of people and cause billions of dollars of repairs around the world.
Well, that sounds really dangerous, eh?
Yes, it does.
So there's a question also from Suzanne. She's asking, do you have any recommendation or suggestion that can help the population to be prepared and reduce the risk?
Well, the preparation to this key of the natural disaster is knowing what to do and how to prepare. So this could save thousands of lives. So the emergency supplies that they can prepare are like matches, candles, plastic bags, sleeping bags, first aid kit, a bottle of water, soap, toiletries, anything that's possible that they can need. Also, the most important thing is that the governments have to be informative about the emergency warnings and how they can let people know what's going to happen, what are the next steps that they need to take, and to receive like advices.
Right. So don't worry, we're almost done. We have like just 2 more questions and then we're gonna finish. Actually, we have like more, but we're gonna pick up just 2 questions anyway. So Alejandra from Mexico, she's saying, is there any catastrophic event that El Nino provoked?
Well, the previous El Nino storms have actually caused several problems, especially in India, but preventing a monsoon from actually happening. And monsoon season was vital for India as it's provided most of their rainfall all of the year. So this could lead to death of millions of people.
Wow.
The phenomenon was truly a force to be reckoned with. So scientists are working on ways to better predict the El Nino event from taking place in the future. They are using buoys in the ocean to detect currents, and the results are sent to the center, so if the El Nino is in effect, they can prepare themselves.
So last question, because we are running out of time. We have James from Toronto asked, how can we prevent El Nino?
Well, in the agriculture aspect from the previous events, especially the ones occurred between 1997 and 1998, it is clear that the El Nino brings difficulties to farmers in a lot of parts of the Pacific, which is affected by drought in the drier than normal conditions. This is why farmers should be planning far ahead to prepare for the worst by planting drought-resistant crops that could adapt to long periods of dryness as an option to prevent the El Nino.
Right.
To prevent negative impacts to the health authorities in these countries should do deeper analysis of historic climate and health data of El Nino events that have happened. There should be research and climate risk assessments to provide helpful information and planning. Finally, governments have to be communicative to the people when certain areas are in risk of getting struck in a huge storm, especially by El Nino, and they could provide people with secure accommodation, evacuation area, and further inland and higher grounds.
Thank you, Saba, for coming. Really interesting conversation with you, and it's hopefully we benefit our audience about what El Nino is and what is the cure and everything. So hopefully next time we're gonna see you here in our studio, in our show, for a new natural disaster. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Musab.